Ooh, man, uh, this is interesting. Uh, so one, I want to say it's always an honor to share a message of hope or share any message in Narcotics Anonymous, especially with a group of men. You know what I mean? When they asked me to, first he told me he's going to put me in the running, and I was like, yeah, all right, just put me in the running. So when that happened, because I remember like the first time I came to this conference, I had about 3 years clean, and like I was literally blown away by like the men with clean time in here and the predecessors that were in here, and like how they carried themselves, and like comparing myself to them, like I could never get up there. Like I could never do that, you know. And to be here is truly an honor. And then when I get here to to find out that I'm sharing a spot with, you know, one of the predecessors that when I first got here, you know what I mean, was truly an honor. And then when he told me the topic, I was like, oh hell no. I said they done found the most unstable man in Pennsylvania to come down and share a message. You know what I mean? Because my disease started like kicking that all over the place, man. And I was like, you ain't shit, you know. Whew. And like it gets nerve wracking for me because like I was taught that like honest sharing is an antidote to the disease thinking, right? So like I don't want to get up here and tell you guys that I don't feel like I'm in a stable spot. Like I don't feel like this is right, or I don't feel like that's right. With 9 years clean, I feel like I should be a lot farther than what I am. You know what I mean? But the reality is like I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Um, you know, when I've been taking an inventory of my life for the last couple of weeks because I've been running every type of stability concept through my head over and over and over again. I was thinking about like the grounds of like how unstable I was before I got clean, man, and like how like it's because in the living clean it said like being secure like no matter what happens because like you're okay with yourself. I was so unclear with myself that like nothing like the wind blew too hard and I had to use, or like you know what I mean. Somebody passed away and like that was too much, or like somebody pissed me off and that was okay. You know what I mean? Like anything that would cause a rift in my spirit that was dead anyway. You know what I mean? Like I had to use, and like I get to Narcotics Anonymous, and you know I come in here on this pink cloud, and I was running around like so grateful to be clean. You know what I mean? And you know, right off the bat, like I the rug was kind of you know swept from underneath me, and I lost my father with like 70 days clean. You know what I mean? And like my father was like a man in recovery. And like I was so excited to have this man in recovery and get this relationship with my father that like I never had, right? You know what I mean? And like he used to I remember like calling him a couple of weeks before he passed and like we were on the phone and I was like, Dad, I just worked the first step. And he was like, how's it feel? And I was like, it feels good. And he was like, that's my boy. And like that, I couldn't wait to have more of those conversations with him, right? I've really been missing my dad lately, so I need to say that. You know what I mean? And like, especially coming here and like, you know, now being a father and like people like you guys had to teach me how to be a father. And men like that I watch how they become fathers and do their thing. You know what I mean? It really makes me wish that like I could call my dad and ask him what I'm supposed to do in certain situations. You know what I mean? But now like I have you guys. Like, because without Narcotics Anonymous, I'm completely unstable. Even still, no matter how much clean time I get, no matter how many steps I work, I know that like left to my own devices, I can really screw some stuff up. Um, so you know what I mean, I'm here and like my father passed and it was like the roughest time of my life. And like I actually had this little lady in Newcastle, her name's Mildred, she's about this tall. She came up to me and she said, you know what I mean, you ready to enter the no matter what club. And I was like, what? I was like, I ain't gotta pay no money because I ain't have none. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, okay, okay. And she was like, we just don't use no matter what, Shaun. She's like, I don't care how good it feels, no matter how hard it hurts. Like, you do not pick up the first one, no matter what. I said, all right. You know what I mean? I was down with it. So, and like, I didn't understand that. And she said, you just come here and you share, baby, and you keep coming back and you do all the things that people suggested. And like somebody said before me, like, I knew how to get through my father passing by asking somebody that lost their father before me how to get through that. You know what I mean? Like I had to seek that out of people that had lost people close to them in recovery and figure out like what I was supposed to do because like I didn't know, you know, and like I knew that like I didn't want to go back. Like even with 70 days clean, like I did not want to go back to take the first one, and I knew if I took the first one, I was going right back to that. So like I had to come in here and share honestly and do all these things, and get like this restoration happen. You know what I mean? Like left to my own thinking, it wasn't gonna happen. So like I had there was a sense of you know what I mean, surrender and a sense of acceptance that like I couldn't do this on my own. So like I came here and you guys loved on me and you told me what to do and you gave me suggestions. Some of them were good, some of them were completely retarded, but that's okay. You know what I mean? But like I took the ones that were best suited. You know, I had somebody take me to the strip club before my dad's funeral. That's a whole nother thing. Uh, it kept me clean though, but you know, I can't believe I just said that, but but no. But yeah, so I got through that time, man, and I learned like quickly, like that with application, understanding an application of this program, like I could get through anything. You know what I mean? And I didn't have to pick up the first one. As long as I continue to put the effort in and do the next right thing, and I built my relationship, my higher power, and I built my relationship with you guys, like I could get through anything. And like I became a sense of stability. You know, it said in there like I mean, stability starts with being okay with myself. You know what I mean? And like to be honest, like I ran around here for a long time in these rooms thinking I was okay with Shaun and I wasn't. You know, I had created this faulty image that I thought you guys wanted to see. You know what I mean? I had the $500 shoes on, I had the nice car, I had the rims on it, I had a good job. Everything on the outside was great. You know what I mean? I was working some steps. I got a couple years clean. I got a good job. You couldn't tell me shit. My hair's cut. That's really the only reason I got here. I needed a haircut and a new pair of shoes. That's all I wanted. So I got it real quick, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, damn, now what? You know? And then I started to like, as the time has gone on, and like, honestly, just within the last 2 years, that I really take a look at Shaun and see like what's important in life. You know what I mean? The last year and a half has been a reason why I say that I felt so unstable. Like the last year and a half, I buried like somebody that was really close to me and held the glue to my family and held me down. That was my grandmother. And she was my world, my heart. You know what I mean? My biggest cheerleader. Um, I miss my grandmother. You know what I mean? And like the ripple effect of her death has shattered my entire family. My mother's mental health has completely been spun out. You know what I mean? So we'll get into that, I'm sure. But anyway, so like my whole life again has been completely flipped upside down in Narcotics Anonymous over and over again. It always happens. There's always a storm. There's always something. Some perseverance needs to happen. You know what I mean? You guys helped me get through it. God has helped me get through it. But this one has been really fucking hard. You know what I mean? And it has been really long. But it has honestly probably, again, one of the best things that has happened to me because it has forced me to take a look at Shaun. You know what I mean? And like see like who Shaun is, what Shaun is, and what really Shaun's trying to be about in this program. And so as uncomfortable it is and as bad as it hurts, I know there's a bigger purpose for this pain. You know what I mean? So like I've been forced to look at myself and take the necessary steps to like practice some humility in my life and not like and set myself up for like where Shaun is right now, not versus where I want you guys to think I'm at. You know what I mean? I am that guy that came in here and I would spend $500 on shoes, but couldn't fucking buy myself lunch the next day. You know what I mean? I would do that. I would have the $500 car payment and couldn't pay my rent. You know what I mean? And shit like that because I thought you guys wanted me to be that. Or better yet, if I was that guy, you guys would like me a little bit more. You know what I mean? Just to keep it real. So it gets to a point where that shit hurts trying to keep up. I can't keep up. I'm not built like that. I was just on to be 100% real. I was just talking about. I was like, "Oh, I'm about to buy these shoes for the convention. I gotta get my convention fit. They $500. I ain't got $500 to buy no damn shoes. I got a little girl that got a 5th birthday party happening in 2 weeks that I am paying for. You know what I mean? So them $500 shoes ain't happening. But but anyway, so you know what I mean? Due to this last year and a half, again, doing some real internal work on myself and really like practicing like who I surround myself with and what I surround myself with people who love me for me. You know what I mean? And the people that I genuinely trust that know, love, and care about me no matter what shoes I have on my feet. You know what I mean? No matter what car I'm driving, no matter where I'm working, the people that genuinely care and love me. And I'm so grateful for that. You know, and it has been a very hard, painful situation to like come from something that I was so used to doing for so long and like practicing humility in my life and like changing stuff. Change doesn't feel good to me. I'm a creature of habit. I like to do the same thing. So when they present themselves, I'm like, let's go, you know? But the last year and a half, I've been trying to like really work on like some getting the outside of my life stable. You know what I mean? But I had to take a look on the inside. I had to take a look at these defects that have been whooping my ass for 9 years that wasn't right. You know what I mean? And like that was hard enough to like consciously be aware of like things that weren't right now and having to practice them in a different manner. That's not a fun time. You know what I mean? But like I knew and I've heard that like, freedom isn't free around here. And like that I had to like really go inside and really do some work and let go of some shit if I wanted to get free. And like only thing I was getting free of was myself. You know what I mean? Because like I'm my biggest critic. I'm worried. My self-centeredness has me thinking you guys care if I got $500 shoes on. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Well, Josh might care, but that's all right. But no. So yeah, man. So I've been like on this process of like really doing some like look at myself and like changing some things, and it's been hard, man. And like I said, like the instability, the unstable part of like everything on the outside of my life, like you know what I mean. Dealing with my mother's mental health every day, where I'm the subject of her hurt. You know what I mean? Like having somebody that's supposed to be your biggest cheerleader tear you down on a daily basis is tough. You know what I mean? And my disease is like, how much more can you take? You know what I mean? Like, how are you going to get through this? Like, it's a hard battle. Like the point where like I would literally sit in my garage in my house for hours and wait for her to go to sleep just so I could go in the house because I don't know what I'm walking into. Um, and it's really been tough, man. And everybody's like, "Well, just move out, just do this." Well, my dumb ass, I've been buying $500 shoes for the last 9 years. I ain't moving nowhere. Keep it real. You know what I mean? So I'm working on it. There's a little adjustment that had to happen. So we're getting there, and it's been a really uncomfortable process, man. But again, I know that like if I continue to do the work, I continue to stay in position, like my higher power is gonna take care of everything. That's the beautiful thing about this program. It's like I've learned, it's like as long as I don't take the next one, as long as I like let this program into my life, even when it doesn't feel good, like it will give me some freedom. You know what I mean? Like I have to put in the work and do the work with the steps and the action behind my life of where I applicate these spiritual principles to experience the freedom around this place. You know what I mean? Because it's one thing to come in here and sit here and talk about shit and I can share it for an hour and I can tell you how spiritual I am. But like Brock said, like what am I doing for the rest of the time? Like that has been my number one thing that I've learned about here is like I can come here and talk good shit, but like how do I live the other 23 hours of the day? Where am I practicing my spiritual principles? Where are my steps at? You know what I mean? Where am I letting my higher power really get in there? Um, man, another part of my hardest the last couple years of this journey, you know what I mean? The beautiful process of like I got to become a father. You know what I mean? And like a damn good father at that. Again, that like I had to seek the help of people like Brock and Josh and other predecessors to like show me how to be a father. You know what I mean? And it has been a really expensive, really tough, you know what I mean, journey, especially when, you know what I mean, you come from a separate household type thing, you know what I mean? Whew, thousands and thousands of dollars later, and lots of suggestions. I now have 50% of my daughter. I didn't get that first on. I came in here beating my chest and screaming, I'm the man. I got 4 years clean. I got this. I got rights. Well, in case you're wondering, you don't. Um, and they all try to tell me, Shaun, just stop. Don't call her and cuss her out. Shaun, don't do this. Don't do that. Call me first. Well, first I had to call her and let her know how I feel. You know what I mean? That didn't work. Thousands of dollars later, I now make calls before I call her. Shit. I can't afford the shoes because she takes them in child support, but whatever. Talk about some resemblance. But no, like that journey, man, has been really good, and like I share that because like I came in here and those couple years there, as brought us, we went tooth and nail. We fought hard, lots of court, lots of tears, lots of everything. I mean, it got ugly. But finally, like it came to a point where like I had to surrender, and I had to like let my higher power and let you guys work in my life to like manage that, and like now proudly, I could say like we're about to have a joint fifth birthday party. That's you guys. That ain't me. And then to top it all off, I'm at the mall the other day, right? Her boyfriend comes around the corner. He weighs 150 pounds. I said, "You better have cancer. Something wrong. Something ain't right. Like, why are you so skinny?" You know. So that's a whole nother situation. But like, I called you guys to get me the stability in that. I didn't call her and cuss her out and ask her why she got somebody using around my kid. You know what I mean? My relationship, my higher power knows that like my baby's gonna be taken care of. It's gonna be okay. You know what I mean? Like, only thing I can do is stay in position so when shit hits the fan, like she'll be here with daddy. You know what I mean? And due to this program and me living a certain way, like I could take my daughter on full time, and like I'm proud of that today. Um, it's been a crazy couple years, man, and very tedious and very painful. But I know that like if I didn't have a program in my life, like I would have nothing. You know, all the shoes and all the cars and the clothes, they really mean nothing to me. And like they could go away. You know, I really don't. Well, I'm not gonna say go away. I really like them, but you know what I mean. Like we could do a little less. But just the fact that like today, like that I have the ability to stand up here with you men and like have a clean date, like blows my mind still. You know what I mean? Like I remember many years and like trying to fight to get one. You know what I mean? And now, like instead of fighting to get another one, I do whatever I gotta do to protect the one I got. They always told me it's easier to stay than to come back. So, with that, like I'm running out of shit to say, and like I'm truly grateful to be here. Thanks for letting me share. Thanks for all you men again, and that's all I got.